All right, welcome to the What's Next podcast, where we sit down with real estate agents and business professionals to talk about tech, strategy, and anything interesting, really. I'm your host, Max Bergstrom, and this is What's Next. Let's go. We sit down with real estate agents and talk about how the industry is changing, thriving with technology. We look at strategy. We love it. Welcome to What's Next podcast. All right, what a beautiful Friday it is. I'm here with Tania Gonzalez, my guest of this episode. How are you today?
I am great. How are you?
I'm doing well, you know.
You guys have a great setup going on here. I love it.
Yeah, thank you. We have a lot of fun here. We've been doing this a little while, so we're just getting better and better, but it's really nice to have you on today.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. What did you think about the ambiance and the environment when you came in? Are we doing okay?
You guys are doing great.
Yeah.
You welcomed us really well. You have everything and anything I can ever want, basically, as I walk in, right?
All right.
All the drinks, lots of water, cookies.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, and you were nice enough to actually bring some food for us today.
No, I feel like I had to feed you guys.
Yeah.
You had to talk to me for an hour. I felt like I needed to feed you.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's perfect. I forgot my lunch, so I appreciate you.
Worked
Absolutely. Wonderful. All right. Well, let's get into it. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's do this.
All right, cool. So, I've dug a little bit, did a little bit of research on you.
Not too much.
Well, you have an interesting story. I saw a great article in SD Voyager about you. And so, you were born in Mexicali, Baja California, raised in El Centro.
Yeah.
So what was that like? Tell me about that.
It's a very small town. Grew up, considerably speaking, comparing to San Diego being such a huge city and a ton of people down there, you have like 3 or 4 high schools in total in the valley. El Centro in itself is a smaller town. Mm-hmm. So there's 2 major high schools. One are basically 2 middle schools. Everyone knows each other. Everyone from Pro Valley that you meet here in San Diego probably knows each other. There's the thing of 6 degrees of separation. Down there it's probably like 1 or 2.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was fun. It was nice. It was very intimate. You grow up with the same kids, from kindergarten to high school.
Yeah.
And I'm still friends and connect with a lot of them here in San Diego, which is awesome.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I definitely felt like it was too small for me. So after high school, I said I need to get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people back home, which I love, all my friends' family down there, and there's some awesome people that come from the valley, but for me, I felt like I needed more. A lot of people down there just think, okay, what's next after high school is let's settle down, have kids, get married, and do that whole ordeal.
Yeah, the whole traditional.
I'm totally good with that. But I felt like I needed more. I needed something else. I wanted to pursue a career. I wanted to go to grad school. I wanted to do a ton more, and I needed to do that outside of El Centro. So I moved to San Diego when I was 18, right out of high school.
Okay. Yeah, well, so, just to speak on that, I took a little quote here from your bio. By the way, I love this quote, so I'm going to say this quote, and then I want you to speak on it a little bit. But it says, "It had always been a dream of mine to work in a role where I could be helpful to others and improve people's lives."
Yes.
So that seems like a foundational thing for you. Are you living that right now?
Absolutely. I'm huge on the fact that right now I'm selling escrow, but it's not just about selling escrow, right? To me, I'm part of a bigger story and a bigger picture. I'm part of making someone's dreams of homeownership come true. We are part of making that happen, or someone's, who's trying to, seek financial freedom through real estate. We're helping them do that as well. Mm-hmm. So that's super huge for me. We don't see a deal as a transaction. It's someone purchasing a home for the first time. It's bigger than that. So I feel like I am fulfilled in that level because I am able to help others. And I think with real estate, you're able to get involved in other organizations too. A lot of the times that you can help in other ways. So I'm very grateful that I can do that too. Yeah.
And I know you're active in some organizations and you like to volunteer. And so you're definitely a giver and a nurturer. And real estate, but you were a bartender at one point. You had a master's in healthcare administration. Yeah. So, you were kind of juggling a lot of things. And in the bartender, so I'm just curious, skills from bartending. I would imagine a lot of people skills. Have you brought any of those over into your in escrow and your sales business, like some stuff you learned when you were a server?
You have to definitely have a good memory.
Yeah.
Because someone's like 5 tables order something, or 5 people at the bar order drinks. You have to know exactly what they ordered. You have to remember how to make those drinks too. And it's not always very easy, like a tequila soda or a vodka soda. Sometimes they're asking for like a Tokyo tea, which don't ask me what's in that anymore because I do not remember.
Well, I was just going to ask you, what's in a Tokyo tea?
I don't remember anymore. It's been over 10 years since I did it, but it was fun. It not only that, like multitasking is huge, and people skills, obviously, like being able to deal with hungry people is probably the hardest thing you're gonna ever do.
Really intoxicated people.
That too. So I think that a lot of people in the hospitality industry have transitioned into real estate because it does, like, you take some of the same skills and bring them over here.
100%.
And it definitely relates in a lot of sense.
Yeah. Okay. Well, how did you transition from all of that? I mean, finance, real estate, healthcare. Like, how did you get from here? Like, how did you end up in that seat right there?
Good. How much time do you have?
You know what? Clear my schedule. This is all about you.
So I went to San Diego State. I was trying to kind of work myself through college. So that's when I started serving. Got a job at a place called Firehouse when it was just opening, and didn't really know like what it was going to become or what was going to come from it. But started served there for a few years, then got promoted to bartending. And I met a good friend of ours that you might know, Courtney Lewis.
Yes.
While I was bartending at Firehouse. Her and I were dating 2 guys that were best friends, basically.
Okay.
So we got introduced through them.
Okay. See, this is the good stuff.
Yeah. There you go. So we ended up being friends because of them and just getting to know each other that way. We both dropped the guys and stayed friends. So after I stopped working at Firehouse, I ended up working at a law firm with foreclosures and pre-foreclosures.
Yep.
And so her and I would literally just stay in touch. We would have dinner once a month at least and just catch up and shoot the shit, have lots of wine.
Yeah.
And
for sure.
And I was, during that time, I was working at the law firm. I was kind of bored because it was not 9 to 5, but it was a 6 to 3 job. We dealt with a lot of people from the East Coast. It was all phone and email, and
people from the East Coast too are. Yeah. Give me it now. Yesterday. I mean.
Definitely difficult. But I didn't realize. I always thought going to San Diego State and being a finance major, I thought that I wanted an office job. I thought that was going to be that's what the life goal was going to be, to have a 9 to 5 and to be behind a desk and have my own little cubicle, and I thought that was going to be it. Well, no, that was not it for me. So I didn't understand that. Well, actually, I was bored, so I went and got my my master's.
Sure.
And I chose healthcare administration. At the time is when all the healthcare reform was going on.
Okay.
So I thought there was going to be a lot of opportunity there, and I felt like I was going to be able to fulfill a part of that. I wanted to help people. But then I could still continue my path of business because I was a business major at State.
Yeah. So it's like fusing like 2 passions together.
Yeah. I was trying to bring them both together in a sense, and thinking that I would have maybe more freedom and be more involved in helping people. But little did I know, as I continued through like my master's program, is I wanted to be a CFO of a hospital. I wanted to be the CFO of Children's Hospital because I felt like, I can be a part of helping kids.
Yes.
But CFOs of hospitals don't really help, right? And I don't want to get too far into that, but so then I just realized that was not going to be it
not
for me.
Not the right path.
Yeah. And although I could have explored so much more in the healthcare administration world, which, I mean, I always knew that was an option, I ended up going another path, which led me here. I went to a restaurant with Courtney, which was P.F. Chang's in Mission Valley.
Okay.
Probably a Thursday, because that's when we usually would meet. We had our usual dinner and about 3 bottles of wine.
Yeah, a lot of wine.
Lots of wine, lots of wine. So we're just talking about what's going on with work and life and what's happening. And I'm just telling her, look, I'm so over work. I can no longer move up anymore. I'm a salaried employee. I make my attorney boss so much money,
Yep.
but I'm stuck. I'm not doing much more. And I have my master's. I can't get a job with my master's unless I take a huge pay cut.
Yep.
So I was super frustrated with that too. So I'm like, I just don't know. I'm just over it. Hence the 3 bottles of wine, maybe 4. I don't know. So then she's like, well, why don't you come work with me? At this point, I've known Courtney for, I don't know, a couple years now. She always rolled up in a nice car, dressed super nice.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Had a great schedule. Sometimes we'd be able to go, when I used to bartend, we'd be able to go to the pool in the middle of the day. She worked for a different company at the time, so
Okay.
don't tell her boss.
Okay.
But I was like, dude, this is great. She seems to have like a super like flexible schedule. She's doing really well, obviously. So I'm like, what do you even do? And she's like, oh, I sell escrow. I'm like, what is escrow? And she's like, don't worry, I'll teach you that later. But you're personable. And then you speak Spanish. So there was an office in Chula Vista that needed a rep. So she's like, you speak Spanish, you're personable, like you could definitely do this. Like, first of all, sales is scary as shit. Like, I'm like, there's no way I could do it. And she's like, no, I bet you anything you can do it. I'm no like car salesman. That's not my style. So I always told myself, you're not going to be in sales. There's no way, because that's just not your personality. You have to be behind a desk, and maybe you should be like corporate finance or something back when I was at State.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, you know what do I have to lose at this point? I was not happy where I was at. I was not going to make more money going to work and use my master's degree. So I said, you know what? Let's do it. Set up a meeting with Casey. I met Casey. I loved what I heard about the company and where it was going. Not that I understood much about what escrow was yet, but honestly, it was probably the best thing I could have ever done. I kind of thought at that moment, like, okay, well, if it doesn't work, I can, go and volunteer my time at a hospital and kind of start earning like my credentials in a way and start me working my way up in that sense. But it's like almost 8 years later, I'm still here.
Yeah.
And I love it. I love what I do, and I am super grateful for Courtney and Casey for giving me that opportunity. The company was definitely not where it is now at all. It's completely different, as in we grew so much, and we all grew together, and I just love it, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity. She knows I'm super grateful for her, but in case you don't know Court, thank you.
Absolutely. Courtney Lewis, shout out. Absolutely.
Yes.
I love that. Okay, so yeah, I mean, before we get into a little segment here, a little fun segment, I just want to say that, from what I know about you and from what I've seen, you're highly successful. And so I've heard you talk a little bit about other times we've spoken about like how when you started for a while, like it wasn't easy and it didn't always work and you weren't, like getting everything right away and how you had to like keep pushing through and like move back your quit switch. And I also know that you're very athletic. And so it's, you have that mental, so like how, what are some things, how did you stick that out enough and how long did it take before you really started to see like the gains come in?
So, I just thanked her. The first 2 years, I was definitely not thanking her. I was like, Courtney, what did you get me into?
Oh, okay.
What did you get me into? It was hard.
Yeah.
And she was running her own book of business. They had they had hired other sales reps before, but they didn't necessarily, there was no like formula to how to do it and how to start.
Totally.
So she kind of threw me out there, gave me some contacts, connected me with some awesome people actually in the business, and I kind of had to run with it, and because she had to run her book of business too. She couldn't necessarily be like by my side all day every day, and being someone who comes from working from 6:30 to 3:30, where you couldn't be 5 minutes late. You had to clock out for like breaks every second.
Everything's like predetermined for you.
To going into something that you have no schedule.
Yep.
I'm like, Court, I have 2 hours. What do I do? She's like, I don't know. Do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? I don't know what that means. So definitely for the first 2 years, and she'll tell you too, I was just like, what did you get me into? But it was hard. It was definitely hard. I knew no one in real estate. The section of real estate that I was in was completely different, and we dealt with people from the East Coast before.
Sure.
So it was REO stuff. It was completely different, and it wasn't even anything local. So I didn't know real estate agents. So I got thrown into Chula Vista, and not knowing anyone, just kind of figured, okay, well, what do? I just have to go to a ton of events and try to be everywhere and anywhere where there's a real estate agent. And I just did that, and I was working 12-hour days and going to all the events possible, talking to anyone. If an event had one real estate agent, I was there. I was just trying to make sure that people knew our name. We were a small company growing, and we had just entered the Chula Vista market.
Yeah.
And Chula Vista is very old school. The people that work there and that do business there have been there for a long time. Mm-hmm. And to be like the new girl in, people just assumed, oh, she's not going to last here, or it's not going to work. Yeah, or that company's just not going to do it here. It's not going to do well. So
that's hard. That's tough.
It's just like it lit a fire in me, and I said, you know what? There's no failing here. I'm going to do this.
Yeah. And so were you like that before? Like, I mean, because, like you work out, you're a goal-oriented person. Like, I'm always interested in high achievers, how there's that, like, nope, I'm going to push myself to go, like, another mile or do another thing or, juggle another task or, stick it out. So, that seemed to have served you well. Did you have those skills before a new venture, or did you, like, learn them when you first started there?
I definitely was born with that, I think. And I think it comes from my mom. She's just always someone that she's like, if you want something, you're dreaming of something, you can go get it. Yeah. Like, there's nothing that should stop you from getting what you want. Mm-hmm. And so not only that what you want, but if you work hard enough for something, like, you can attain it. Like, you can make it happen. And I saw that from her growing up. So I think it was just kind of always instilled in me.
Yeah.
So I was just like, there's just no way I'm not failing.
Cool.
There's that wasn't an option for me.
Awesome. I love that. That's great. All right, well, we're going to do a little segment. So I'm calling this the Top 21 for 2021. Okay. We did a little bit of research on some fun trends going on this year, and we're just going to do some rapid fire questions and learn a little bit more about what you like.
All right.
Sound good?
Let's do it.
All right, let's do this. So, favorite restaurant to get back to in 2021?
Hane Sushi.
Okay.
My favorite sushi.
Okay, awesome.
Yes.
Where is that?
It's Bankers Hill.
Okay.
It's on 5th Avenue. It's going to be the best sushi you have in all of San Diego, and they are amazing there. They'll take care of you.
Love it. Tony, write that down. We're going to go. like today.
Yes.
Going to the movies in 2021, yay or nay?
Nay, for me.
No. Are you an HBO Maxer?
I am. I love my couch and watching movies from my couch and relaxing. However, I do enjoy the lot here and there. Well, I used to enjoy the lot last year, I guess, or the year before. Here and there, because if I'm getting too cozy, I will fall asleep.
Okay. All right. Okay, so maybe it's like if it's something you really want to see, then you can go out so you get the whole experience and stay awake and all that.
Yeah, but I feel like 2020 really made me like a homebody.
Totally.
So I just feel like if I can watch it at home now, why do I need to go somewhere and do it? But I think specific movies, Cool. I'll definitely go out and watch Top Gun, too.
Yeah. Sure. I love Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
I do. I really do. So that's a story for another day, though.
Yes.
All right. Well, then how about this? Amazon Prime drone delivery service. Have you heard about this?
I have. I haven't looked into it too much. It's interesting. Didn't they start doing it somewhere like San Francisco already?
Yeah, and I think they're planning on going like wider this. Would you trust that? Is that something you would try out?
I don't know. I mean, what if I order something that's glass?
That's what I'm saying.
What if they drop it?
Yeah.
UPS is already kind of like tough on these packages. Imagine a drone who does not care.
Yeah. Or what if you live by like a prison or something where they can't even fly in that neighborhood? You know what I mean? Like we've. I
guess I didn't think of it that far.
I'm sorry. Well, I see. Tony and I fly the drone around, and we've run into that before. So I'm, maybe I'm thinking a little too deep into it. But
I honestly didn't even realize how many restrictions there are with drones, and the drone won't even work in specific areas.
Right.
And I'm just like, well, what? Yeah. Right. So I guess I definitely can see that, but. I mean, Amazon is Amazon, and they're amazing, and I'm sure they'll figure it out.
For sure. Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, how about more screen time or less screen time in 2021?
As far as
phones, TVs, Netflix, social media, just what.
I want to say less.
Okay.
But it's my whole world. It's work. It's life. It's everything. Yeah. So it's kind of hard. My phone is my Bible. It's where I do a lot of my business from. So as much as I want to say, like, let's stop, my eyes need, a little bit of help now.
Yeah.
So, but, I think I want to cut it off at a specific time. Yeah. Maybe stop watching so much TV and stop looking at my phone so much after certain hours. So hopefully I can.
Yep. Cool. Yeah, I'm the same way. Yeah, I try to get more disciplined with putting some limits on it.
Yes.
Because I'm like that too. I mean, I'm attached to it. So It's crazy.
I know. I don't have it right here, so it's kind of weird.
You're right. Exactly.
I feel naked.
Well, how about this? Save money or spend money? 2021.
Save money.
Save money.
Yes.
How come?
Because I want to invest. I want to invest and I want to buy properties. I want to build a portfolio of properties throughout, the U.S. and even in other countries. I've done my spending money.
Yeah.
I've got that over with. And if I could say back to my younger self, I would probably tell myself, you don't need to do that.
Yeah.
Save younger, and I would tell anyone else to start saving, at a very young age. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think saving, because you just never know. Rainy days, pandemic.
Yeah, right. Rainy days, global pandemic. Who knows?
Corona.
Yep.
Yeah, so I think save money.
Awesome. Yeah. All right, online shopping or going out to the mall in 2021?
Online shopping.
Online shopping. Yep. Okay.
And now try everything on at your comfort of your own house, and you might not return it if you online shop.
Okay.
So I think the companies will make more money, I think.
That was always the thing with online shopping for me is like if I get it and then I have to like repackage it and send it back. Like so I was always like I just rather just go out and try stuff on.
Yeah. But a lot of places aren't even letting you try anything on in stores right now. And there's all these restrictions and how many people can be in a store, and it's just like, okay, just send it to my house. Let me figure it out. I'll send it back if I want to keep it or don't.
Got it. TikTok or Instagram 2021?
Instagram.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm not about dancing in front of the camera and doing that takes up too much of my time, and I don't have it. So I use my Instagram for business and personal, so I combine the two, and it's not about recording. Nothing wrong with TikTok. I think TikTok is very entertaining, and it actually takes a lot of my attention sometimes, but I think that for me, Instagram.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, your Instagram game is lit. So I mean,
thank you.
Yeah, you do very well.
Thank you.
We enjoy consuming your content very much. So.
Thanks.
All right. So I want to make sure I pronounce this right. Okay. I know. So first of all, I know that you like to cook.
Yes.
I know that you appreciate gourmet cooking and meals and the whole experience. So charcuterie.
Charcuterie.
In 2021, yay or nay?
Yes.
Yes.
I love it.
Now, have you do you?
Oh yeah.
You build like parties around this or what? Seems like a new trending thing, or
Charcuterie boards are an art now. I think it's become this huge thing that everyone's loving right now, I guess.
Yeah.
You could say. But I mean, who doesn't love cheese and crackers?
Totally.
Right?
I mean, yeah, I get that.
And throw in, some chocolate too, and you can make charcuterie boards off of anything, even if it's breakfast. You want to do pancakes and make a charcuterie board for breakfast. You can do that too.
Yes.
But cool. I love having people over and getting creative with a charcuterie board.
Yeah. I figured I saw that, on the trending stuff, and I was like, this seems like it'd be right up Tania's alley.
I definitely like them.
Cool. All right. Well, here's an interesting one that we found. Supposedly this is a trend this year, but snails, lizards, and frogs as pets in 2021, yay or nay?
Not for me.
Not for you.
No. I love my puppy.
Yes. Yes.
I love my puppy. I probably will get another this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
But no lizards, no.
Okay.
No, that's not my thing. No reptiles for me.
Okay, got it.
I had a snake, a garden snake when I was little. My brother and I got over it really quickly, and we.
Did you just let it go?
We threw it over the fence of the elementary school.
What? Really?
Yeah. We lived across the street from an elementary school
that we went to. Playing when you did it?
No, we definitely did it after school.
Okay.
But we just got over it, and we were young. Okay, don't judge me.
No, trust me. You don't have to worry about that. I'm a non-judgmental type of guy. So. Yeah. Okay. Well, so then I know you love your dog.
Yes.
Very important. In fact, I just saw a video from new Venture Escrow where we're going through your morning routine.
Yes.
And it seems like along with the workout, you take your dog for a walk. And is it Nala?
Nala.
Nala. Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
When I was younger, I had a dog, Simba, and he passed away. And so when I got her, it's only right if I name her Nala.
Love it.
Yeah.
Cool.
She's the sweetest little thing.
Awesome. All right. Well, so how about this? Oversized shoulder pad boyfriend jackets in 2021. Yay or nay?
Oversized shoulder pad boyfriend jackets.
Yeah. Like, apparently this is a fashion trend that's coming up.
Depending on the person and what the rest of the outfit looks like.
Okay, but would you ever ever indulge in?
It won't fit me.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. That's a look for certain people, certain body types.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. How about white knee-high boots in 2021? Yay or nay?
I can see people wearing them. I probably won't partake.
Okay.
But I definitely can see that. Because this past year, it was the white booties that was the trend.
Mm-hmm.
So if they're going to take it up to knee highs, it's a lot of white. But
got it.
yeah.
Got it.
I think
All
some
right.
people might.
All right. Well, we'll shift into some business. How about using AI to boost sales in 2021?
I mean, I've been seeing it a lot in even 2020. So, I mean, I'm sure it'll continue. Hopefully it'll be more customized and just not so plain Jane. And like, I don't know, anytime I see a message like that I could tell is AI, I'm just like, I just don't want to respond. So I think they need to get a little more creative with it this year.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Definitely. Fair enough. So how about video used in sales processes? I mean, I know this has been done for years, but it's a big trending thing. Where do you see that going?
I see videos going up, like continuing to go up. I think it's important. That's why Tony still has a job,
Yeah. Yeah. Give us a little da-dum. There we go. Love it. Awesome.
You'll be employed for a lot longer, Tony. You're good. Job security.
Definitely.
So yeah, I think that honestly, video done right or wrong, again, you can't really have what do they say? It's any advertisement is no, I don't even know the word. I don't even know the words, right?
I know.
You know what I'm saying, right?
I do. I know what you're saying.
But I think that videos is people continuing to evolve on the way they use videos, and I know for us, we've been using them a lot more, and you're showing dogs like new tricks is hard, but
yes,
it's really just getting started with like one video and then going from there. And I think we get too worked up onto what are we going to record and what are we going to say and like what are we going to look like. And I think just like let that go already. No one cares. If people are listening to the content that you're recording, people want to learn from you. And I think that's the biggest thing, at least in real estate. There's so many people out there that need education on home buying process and what it looks like and what you need to buy a house or what it looks like to sell your house. Like, so get up there and do a video, because when you do a video, people can connect with you a lot more. And I think that's super important. So if people continue to do video, I think it'll be huge and a great success for their business.
Awesome. Love it. Okay. How about authenticity in 2021? What does that look like to you? Big buzzword in business right now, authenticity, being authentic.
I think it's huge. I think it's everything. I feel like 2020 was the TikTok year, right? Where there was no authenticity. I think it was more of like, who can do some dance moves or, and I feel like now we have Clubhouse and there's just, I think it's evolving to that. And I think authenticity, transparency, that's all super important. And just, because that's how you can really connect with.
That's how you connect, absolutely.
It's like no one wants to connect with someone that's trying to be like.
Yeah. They want to do business with another human that's real.
That's real. And I think that's huge. And I think 2020 really helped us get back down there. I feel like I can be a lot more casual and be a lot myself now. And and I'm okay with it. And people accept it. And, people love it, actually. Like, people love the fact that we can all wear jeans and just be ourselves.
I'm a real person.
Yeah, and I think the pandemic definitely showed us that. Like, everyone had to take a step back. They had to, be a mom first or be a dad first, and then do their work. So it took everyone down to pretty much their authentic self, and really brought everyone down to earth in reality, and especially a lot in this business. I think that can be just very smokes and mirrors, I guess you could say.
Totally.
So I think it really brought people back down, and it helped, people relate more. And, you have a kid, I have a kid, like, I don't, but like people understand, okay, you're going through this with your kid right now, trying to, teach them and be their teacher as well. So people started realizing, okay, we're all kind of in that same boat. And it's okay to say, you know what, I can't do it. Okay, I need help, or, this is hard. Yeah. And I think
it's like a common, I think it showed everybody that this issue is all of ours.
Yes.
And so there was a lot more like camaraderie kind of felt, and everybody was kind of brought to that same level.
Absolutely.
As opposed to like highlighting the differences. And I know like the authenticity on social media specifically, I think authenticity cuts through the noise.
Yep.
All of the fake, like, you know, let's stage this and this is not my real life, but let's make it look, you know, and I think people are just done with that.
Yeah, and we can thank 2020 for that.
Yeah.
And the amazing COVID.
Absolutely. Okay, well, couple more and then we'll move on. So number 20 was relationship building on social media.
Okay.
We pretty much covered that, but is there any, like, how do you do that with your social profiles?
So I think that social has been huge for me because I can only be one place at one time, right?
Yeah.
And I connect with so many people, especially, you know, before this pandemic when there was events and networking. And so it's a good place for people to get to know who you are and get to see what you're like, relate to you.
Mm-hmm.
Again, if I'm not authentic in my social media, then people can't connect with me. People can't relate to me.
Yeah.
So I need to show who I am.
Yep.
Then I can connect with, you know, another real estate agent that has another dog or that loves dogs.
Totally.
Or, you know, there's just...
They know, like, and trust you.
Yeah.
And then they're going to want to do business with you.
Exactly. And the truth is, like, I work my ass off, so I need to showcase that too, so people can see that. And, you know, a lot of times it does become a lot of work to showcase everything that you're doing and really put your life out there. But I think that if you are authentic with it and you can continue to build the relationships with people that will fit with you. And I'm not someone that feels like, okay, I need to work with or I need to know everyone and anyone. I really believe that, you know, if you're authentic and the right people will, you know, be attracted to you and you'll connect with the people you're supposed to.
Yeah.
So I think that that's kind of what I use my platform for, is to connect with the people that I will align with.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right, and then lastly, having the best year of our lives in 2021. Yay or nay?
Absolutely.
Always.
Always, yes. Every year always gets better. I honestly think that last year was just a huge, not reality check, but we were able to look into our lives, our business, and really analyze it and get to know what do we need to fix, what do we need to work on. I mean, I think all of us, the sales team, marketing team, we all got so much closer and started digging deep into how can we make this whole process better?
Totally.
And how can we all work better together? And I think that I hope that everyone, not just us in Venture Escrow, did that last year and, you know, got to look at their business, got to really analyze what it is that you want in life and what it is that you want in work, because it comes
the people
hand
around
in hand.
you and everything.
Analyze the people around you, like figure out who is worth your time, who's worth your energy, and then really like take that and have your goal for this year to just be to roll with that and to, you know, utilize everything that you worked on last year to just be better and happier. And because again, we all realize that there's people, it can really get stopped. Everything can stop like in a minute.
Yeah.
You know, our lives all stopped March 17th last year.
Pretty much.
So I think just you have to continue to want to do better and grow and learn from whether it's mistakes or experiences from last year, and always like strive to do better the next year.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Man, great answers. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, this is awesome. Okay, well, so then, you know, shifting a little bit, you know, since we're talking about social media, we're talking about tech. Tell me a little bit about your, like, how do you use tech in your business, and how is it in your business strategy? I know New Ventures, you know, the whole thing is forward-thinking, innovation, what's coming next, you know, how can we get better? How can we bring escrow into the 21st century kind of? So, how are you, you know, tell me a little about that.
Well, first off, there's no other escrow company that can do anything that we're doing. And that in itself is because of the innovation and the way that not only Casey, our boss, thinks, but we have all been kind of trained now to think ahead and to figure out, to solve issues before they become an issue, to look at what's going on out there and to see what can become an issue that we can solve through technology.
Sure.
And it's not just us here at Venture that's doing that. There's, you know, Amazon's doing that.
Right.
Everyone's doing that.
Right.
So I think the awesome part about that is that we're not the escrow company that's just dealing with what's been done for a long time. Like, we are not those people. We're thinking ahead to solve problems that some people don't even know they have yet.
Yeah.
And I think that's huge for us. It's huge for us and huge for the real estate agents that partner with us.
Yeah.
Right? Because again, it's all about saving time, being transparent, making people's lives easier. Like, don't you want to partner with people that are thinking that way for you?
Totally.
So that's kind of, I think, for us, just the technology that we've been able to create around escrow process, something that's kind of always been super old school, antiquated, and just been done the same way for so long. And being able to bring technology to facilitate the process and just make just it easier and more effortless for everyone that's involved. I mean, I think that's super important. I think that we are starting to set that trend, and people are going to start following behind, because it's how escrow should be done. It's how real estate needs to be done. Real estate's already, you know, in that technology.
Yeah, 100%.
Wave. So it's like everyone needs to kind of step up.
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine if I was a busy real estate agent and I'm, you know, like the things that are going to make me money and push my business forward is lead generation and building my own relationships. The last thing I'm going to want to worry about is how my escrow transaction is going and putting out fires and all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, is there like a specific, are there any like specific things that you hear from agents that are like, you know, we loved this or we appreciate this, or like what kind of feedback do you guys get with the technology and things like that?
So a lot of it is, I mean, people are just in shock that we actually thought about something like this, right? Which is crazy that no one else has thought about it in reality. Everyone wants transparency. I think that buyers and sellers go through the whole process and they're online, they have access to everything on the internet, and then they get into escrow and they don't know what's going on. They don't have any transparency through the transaction. They're waiting to hear back from an escrow officer or their agent to tell them what's next. Right. A lot of times, like, even experienced agents, they might not know every step of the way that, like, during the escrow process and what the escrow officer is doing. So what we can do with this technology is we can literally walk everyone through the process as it's happening. So it's all in real time, so they can see exactly where they're at. And there's just the fear that comes with the escrow, with the word escrow and being in escrow.
Yeah, it's a lot of money tied up. It's emotional investment.
It's a huge investment.
Totally.
It's, you know, some people it's the biggest investment of their life. So, and it's a big decision. So I think that the fact that we are allowing them to be a part of it, allowing the buyers, the sellers, both agents to literally follow the process, it diminishes that fear like a ton. Because they're able to follow along, they know what's happening, they know we're working on it. They know we're actively working on getting them their house, or you know,
proactive, just like you said, instead of reactive.
Absolutely.
Like, somebody needs this, I got an email. Instead, it's like, no, I know this is going to happen, so I'm already delivering this to you, and this is going to, you know, you're going to get a real time update or whatnot. So it's
absolutely.
And so is everybody able to, the buyer, the seller, and the agent, and the escrow officers?
Yes.
Everybody can be.
So everyone has access to, it's what we call Venture Track. Yeah. Everyone has access, the buyers, the sellers, the listing agent, the buyer's agent, the lender, and the escrow officer. They can communicate through the platform. All the documents are saved in this platform. So tax season rolls around, the agent can log on to the Venture Track, and they can send all the closing statements out to their clients from the year before. It's such a great platform for agents to get organized with their files from the year.
Sure.
It keeps everything in one place. And buyers can literally log on there, and it's a lot more secure for, you know, their wiring instructions.
Yeah.
There's so much wire fraud going on right now.
That billions of dollars a year now. Yeah.
Yeah,
totally.
It's scary. So we are trying to create security, you know, we're trying to create transparency. We're trying to just give them peace of mind as well, too, through all of it. And I think that's super important for clients with everything going on, with all the access that they have in the world, and for them for people to just go dark in the escrow process is not okay for us. So we truly believe that transparency is key, and this is how we're doing it.
Awesome. Yeah. Super innovative. I love that. So do you see the escrow industry, like everybody else, like catching on and moving in this direction? And then is New Venture going to drop like the next new thing? I mean, how do you always?
We're always looking at the next new thing.
Got it.
That's just how we all are wired to think nowadays. You know, we're grateful for Casey to lead that, and he has us all thinking, all right, what's the next thing that we could do? What's the next problem we could solve? And that's the beauty of it. It's not like we're done here. There's so much more that we're going to do. There's so much more for us to grow, and we're just getting started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, let's shift gears just a little bit, but it's definitely still relevant.
All right.
We've been talking about relationships, talking about businesses. I want to know, like, what's like one really big win that you had, like, and tell me about it. Like, what's one really big win, something you're really proud of in your career with New Venture that you celebrated?
I like business, or like a business win, or just overall?
Yeah, I mean, it just could be anything. Just something that that during your time you felt like a really big win, and you were really proud of yourself, and you're like, just a big achievement that you.
I was able to buy my own place about 3 years in the business.
Wow.
And so I honestly, growing up, I saw my mom kind of like work for this and work for her home that she owned, and she always instilled that in us, and save your money so you can buy your own house and you don't have to be paying.
Sounds like a strong
mortgage.
Female role model for you.
Yes, absolutely. And so it was always in the back of my head. I got into real estate with escrow, and I began to meet so many amazing people that had done and accomplished so much. A lot of agents that had accomplished a ton at such a young age, had bought tons of properties at such a young age, were already investing. So it definitely helped push me. Just being surrounded by all the right people, I think, was huge. And I think that's also a huge win too. The people that I've been able to surround myself with in real estate through escrow are just amazing. And I'm just super grateful for that too, because again, they kind of switched that in my head to, hey, think that way. And it's not about the material things. It's about getting, how do you explain it? I mean, I guess a house is material, but not necessarily like that, right? Save for the things that matter, and save.
That's a foundational piece of life. That's a big deal.
And I was able to do that on my own, which was huge for me, and I didn't need help from anyone. So I think being a Latina, being a woman, and being able to do that by myself.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't super young, but it's still something that I accomplished. I don't know, what was it, 31 or something. It was a huge win for me,
awesome.
And I think that if I could tell anyone, I think do it younger, and look into it. You don't need as much. I always, again, this is something that I feel like so many people should know, is that you don't need a ton of money to buy a house ahead of up front. You don't need 20% to buy your first property. You can buy a house with 3.5%. You can buy a house with 5% down. So
sure. There's things that can be done.
Yes. If you talk to the right people, it can work out for you. And I think I was one of those people that was always well, there's no way I don't have $100,000 to put towards a house. Totally. And through my relationships and through the people that were in my circle, I was able to realize, hey, you are more than qualified to do this, and you can do it by yourself.
Yeah.
So it was definitely a win.
Yeah, sure. Awesome. Well, that's congratulations, by the way. And I love you talked about your mom. I noticed from me, us doing research that you speak very highly of her, and she was a business owner, and she had a lot of responsibility and took a lot on. Yeah. Is there any other influential people that have either helped you, or even celebrities or politicians or anybody really that you've really looked up to, that you admire, or that you want to give a shout out to besides Courtney or Casey or any
Definitely my mom, my grandma, and my brother that really molded me, I think, growing up. So
is your older brother or younger brother?
Older brother.
So so tell me about that. What was the dynamic? Was he the protector, or
he was definitely the protector? Yes.
So you didn't date until you were 18?
Maybe to him. Sorry, brother. But no, I mean we have a really strong, solid relationship. We're super close. Obviously, we fought about shotgun, and we fought about a bunch of things.
Sure.
And
yeah.
I threw remote controls to him all the time when we were fighting, and I was.
You threw remote controls at him?
At his head, for sure.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Did that cause any injuries?
No. He was faster than me, so. But we fought. But he was, no matter what, we always kind of had each other's back. So
yeah.
We were raised by just my mom, so my mom was working hard all the time, and she had to go back to school, and so then it was just my brother and I at home. So he was just my little protector, and even growing up and through high school, everyone knew I was Oscar's little sister, so they had to let me be, and no one messed with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, and then your grandma as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
My grandma is a phenomenal woman. She was a professor in Mexico for a lot of years. So, I mean, since we were little, we would be having lunch or dinner, and she's sitting there at the table making us read or having us, like, read something, like, to her. And she was always trying to teach us about education, how important that was. I think majority of her grandkids, probably about 90% of her grandkids have their masters. So,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And she has about, like, 11, 12, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
So big family.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
Kind of, I guess. Yeah. Okay. But so I think we all listened.
Yeah.
Clearly, if we all went and, sought after education that far. So, yeah, she's an awesome woman.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's great. So, you've got like the generational thing, your grandma, your mom, and I'm sure you got good advice from them, and you don't have kids.
Don't have kids.
Okay,
no.
So here's one that I'm going to add to the list. Kids in 2021, yay or nay?
The conversation, yes.
Conversation about kids.
I don't think I'll have a baby in 2021.
Got it. But you're talking about it.
I'm not saying maybe 2022.
Got it.
Maybe.
Okay.
Yes. Maybe.
Awesome. All right. Well, if you were to look back at, Tania 10 years ago, what advice, what things would you tell her, knowing what you know now and knowing who that woman was?
I'm 34, so that 24.
Yeah. What would you?
I would tell myself, save your money, stop going out, and start looking into, like, financial literacy and work on your credit and save all the money you can so that you can buy at 34, not have 2 properties, but have 10 properties.
Yeah.
And I think that's huge. And for anyone that is listening or anyone that is, younger and at that point in their life where they feel like partying is everything, or, that's never gonna end.
Mm-hmm.
There's always a party. You can always party, but utilize the younger years in your life where you have all the energy to work hard and work towards something that you love. If you hate what you're doing, then get out of that.
Yeah, passion is big, right?
Passion is huge for me. Huge. I will tell anyone that's, like, working somewhere making great money to leave it if they're miserable.
Right.
It just makes no sense.
Yeah.
You got to love what you do, because then that is when you can be successful at it, because you love what you're doing. So, yeah, I think work towards, building your wealth through real estate. I think it's huge.
Mm-hmm. Totally. So how about advice for anybody who's getting into a sales field, or, like, even in escrow? Like, what would you tell somebody who's going to start off, as an escrow sales rep, or even just in sales in general? Like, give us some nuggets of helpful information.
Well, one of the things I do think is that more people should look into getting into sales. I always said I'm not the sales type, but so many people think that way, and so many people are probably going to say, like, oh, no, that's not for me. And I said that myself. And here I am 8 years later. I cannot ever look back and say, like, I want to go back to a salaried position or working inside an office
9 to 5.
9 to 5.
At the law clinic.
No, that's just not for me. So, so I think I would definitely say try it. Like, try a sales job, especially people that were bartenders or servers before. You would be a natural salesperson.
Totally.
Natural.
Totally.
Which I didn't even think I was. Because I don't see myself. I still don't see myself as a salesperson.
Yeah.
I'm not a used car salesman. I just never will be, and that's not my style.
Yep.
But it's okay. You can have your own style. You can sell your way. But I will say, like, relationships have been everything for me. Your network is everything. I've been able to grow a network throughout these 8 years doing this, and I'm super grateful for all the people in it and the people I've been able to meet throughout the years. And I think that don't take those relationships for granted is huge, and give everyone a chance. You just don't know where that conversation can lead. You don't know what door this person can open, no matter where they work or who they are. Like, don't ever talk down on anyone based on their role. Don't, like, just treat everyone the same and how you want to be treated. And I think that you'll be fine, especially in real estate and any kind of sales job or in life in general.
Yeah, the door guy at the the restaurant, his roommate could be like somebody looking to invest, and so treat everybody the same, have the conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So what about like personal relationship advice? What if you could talk to either to yourself or give some advice about personal relationships outside of sales. What do you how do you
Like,
what's the value? Yeah, like intimate relationships, friendships. Like how do those play into life?
I think like every relationship, whether it's with your significant other or friends, you have to nurture them. No matter what, you got to nurture them like a plant. You water it, you take care of it, and you have to just continue to basically feed it and work on it. And every relationship needs to be worked on. I think then sometimes it is hard to make time for all the relationships in life, and I think more than anything, what you have to do with relationships in general is communicate. Yeah. Communication is huge, whether it's even communication or relationships in the real estate business or in sales or anywhere. You just have to communicate. Real estate agents need to communicate with their clients, explain what's going on. We have to communicate with ours. Mm-hmm. That's literally the most important thing. And then in personal relationships, same, communicate. Mm-hmm. You don't know what anyone's going through unless you talk to them, really. Yeah. And I think that's super huge. And
good advice.
Because a lot of people just assume, and you just have to talk to people.
Yeah.
Pick up the phone. People will really love it.
Awesome.
They love to hear from you.
That's get that on a clip. Pick up the phone. People are going to love it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay.
I want to hear from you.
Yeah. I love that. Thank you for sharing. Now, so we're going to do another segment here, but before, what's next for you? Where are you going? What do you want to achieve this year? What can we expect to see from Tania Gonzalez?
I'm going to try to do more videos with you guys.
Okay.
That is the plan, I think. I just need your help.
Yeah.
I definitely want to personally continue to grow my investment portfolio. So a lot of what I'm working towards is. So
and you have income producing properties?
Yeah, I have a rental property. Yeah.
Got it.
But I want to multiply that.
Sure.
And so just always wanting to learn more about that. And I talk a ton with all of my investors and trying to see how they got to where they're at. Totally. And I think that's why, relationships are super huge. But that's one of like my biggest goals. I want to flip a property this year. Mm-hmm. And I want to realistically get 2 more doors this year.
Okay.
See how that looks. But yeah, that's my goal.
That's awesome.
What I'm working towards is that for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if anybody can get to it, I know you can.
Thank you.
You bet. Okay.
We'll talk again around this time next year, and you can ask me.
Well, you can just come back on the show next week, go. And then we'll just do this all over again.
What about you, Max? I'm going to ask you now.
Oh, my goals?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, let's see. I'm newly single. It's funny because I was talking. Yeah. Thank you, Tony. It's funny because I was talking about like all these new like dating apps.
Yeah.
And I was like, should I like look for a relationship? And then I was like, nah. So one goal is to just focus on myself and my own stuff. And I have a business on the side, a marketing business, a video marketing business that I'm trying to grow myself. And so, I'd like to have some more financial freedom. I'm really looking forward to my band just signed with a new record label. We're putting out new music. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
And really, this podcast right here is the first. I love doing this. It's the first experience that I've had hosting a podcast, and I just really enjoy it. And so
You're natural.
Thank you. I appreciate it because, like we put in some work down here, and I obviously couldn't do it without, my guy, Tony Hernandez. So I think just being, and being a better dad. I've got a 4-year-old, so I'm just like multiple big things happen in 2020. And, the focus is really like growing my business, growing here, just doing the best I can. And just, I don't know, trying not to be too serious either.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's super admirable too.
Yeah. Thanks for asking me.
Of course.
I appreciate that.
I think that what you said is spot on. Just like work on you, and then the right relationship will come to you.
Yeah.
Honestly, like I don't say don't go out looking for it, but just have fun and enjoy yourself, and then just like work on yourself, and you will attract the person. Yeah,
your vibe attracts your tribe. I know that's cliche, like all those sayings, but it's true, right?
I'm a huge believer in that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think you'll do just fine.
I love it. Thanks. Yeah. Thanks, T. I appreciate it. Okay, so then this last segment, we've gotten some really fun feedback about this, and I really enjoy it too, but it's called Finish the Sentence, all right? So I'm just going to say a sentence and leave it on a hanger, and you're going to finish that sentence. Are you ready?
No pressure. Okay.
All right, let's do this. If I wasn't at NVE, I would be.
There's nowhere else I would be.
I know, but if you weren't, where would you be? I mean, not the law clinic, I know that.
No, definitely not.
Would you be on a boat in the Caribbean? Would you be a DJ?
You know what? If I could just be anything, I would just be a travel blogger.
Okay.
If I could get paid for traveling, I would totally love that.
Yeah. And you just got back from a really awesome vacation.
That's amazing. If anyone needs an amazing retreat or vacation, go check out the one and only Mandarina in Mexico. It's gorgeous. It's amazing. Not that far.
Awesome.
2.5 hour flight. It's awesome.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. My mom thinks I'm the best at
everything I do.
Everything.
Yeah. She's my biggest fan. I love her.
Okay. Right on. I think we get that answer a lot. We've got some supportive parents at New Venture Escrow.
Yeah, she definitely is. She's a huge fan.
Awesome.
For sure.
Okay, awesome. Or how about this then? My go-to vacation spot is?
Anywhere in Mexico.
Yeah.
With the beach.
Okay, with the beach. So even though...
Tony agrees? Tony agrees,
yeah. Yeah, he talks to us through sound effects.
Yeah.
It's lovely. But you go to the lake, too.
Yeah, we go to Havasu.
Yeah.
Havasu's a good time. I think the fact that we had everything shut down in California and Arizona was a little bit more open.
Yeah.
We were able to go to Havasu and live kind of a semi-normal life on the weekends.
Yeah.
So it was just like a no-brainer to go out there.
Mm-hmm.
And, Courtney and her boyfriend have a boat. So
yeah,
we get to go out on a boat and have a great time with friends. And everyone out there is happy. Mm-hmm. No one is pissed off in Havasu. There's no way you can't be. So it was such a great time. A friend of mine calls it paradise. And I used to say, like, this is not paradise. It's paradise.
It's paradise.
Yeah, it's
so
paradise.
You've been converted.
I have.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Yeah, you went out there a handful of times this past year, right?
Yeah, we were out there like close to 10 times, I think, this year.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So whose boat?
Ryan and Courtney's. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, lake life is good. I grew up in Minnesota where there's 10,000 lakes, and the weather isn't very good, but when it is good, I mean everybody goes out in the lake. So
I'm from the desert, obviously, and a lot of people do go out to Arizona and to the lakes. There's a lake in Yuma, which is only 45 minutes from where I'm from, but I just never did it when I was younger, and I was just like, that's not my style. I just assumed that I wouldn't like it.
Yep.
And yeah, I was wrong.
Totally.
It's a great time.
Love that. Okay, how about this? My favorite thing to eat is?
Sushi.
Sushi. That was a quick answer. Love it. The best drink in the world is?
In the world. Tequila soda.
Tequila soda. Okay.
Or just tequila. Let's just leave it at tequila.
Tequila.
Yeah.
Okay. What about with the worm in the bottle?
Mezcal?
Have you done that where like you drink the end of the bottle with the worm?
Oh, I haven't had the worm.
No.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I hear it gets you really drunk though.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, right? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, okay. I
had to look at my fellow Mexican.
I'm getting nods from people both in the studio and outside of the studio that is correct.
Okay, yeah. So we're right. Sorry, Grandma.
We're all okay. All right, awesome. So tequila, love that. On the weekends, you can find me
on my couch.
On my couch.
If I'm not traveling, yeah.
Okay. All right, how about this one? Are you ready?
Yeah.
The craziest thing I've ever done while drunk is?
I don't know.
No?
Shoot. Man, you should have warned me about this one.
That's why it's fun, though. If I would have warned you, it wouldn't have been a surprise.
Craziest thing I've done while drunk. I'm going to skip this one for a second.
Skip this one?
Yeah,
okay, no problem.
I got to measure the crazies, like I don't know.
I get it. I mean, that tells us a lot already, but I get it. How about
I took a job basically while drunk, which was actually not, it was crazy, but.
So you accepted a job?
I accepted the job while I was drunk.
What job?
This one. I basically told
Courtney.
You accepted?
Oh, yeah, over the 4 bottles of wine.
I told Courtney that I'm down. Yeah, I'll do it.
Oh,
and we literally cheers to it. So
That's a great answer.
It was the best decision I made while drunk.
Boom.
Yep.
Love it. Okay. All right. I love that. My dog looks at me funny when I
don't feed her, or when I'm eating my food.
Okay.
And not giving it to her.
Okay. Anything specific that she like really joneses over when you're eating?
Weird. She likes spaghetti squash.
Spaghetti squash.
She goes crazy for spaghetti squash.
What's that?
You never had spaghetti squash?
No.
It's like
it's a type of squash.
It's a squash.
Like
you
a butternut squash, but okay.
And you bake it, and then once it's baked and like soft and tender,
you put spaghetti in it.
No, you can like use a fork and it'll like string out like spaghetti. Like it comes apart like, and it has a kind of like consistency like spaghetti.
Got it.
So you can use that instead of a carb.
Okay, and Nala's really into that.
And make that into spaghetti, yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
Nala loves that, and it's a vegetable. It's weird.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Well, that's legit. Okay, how about this? I've never told anyone that
I've never told anyone. I wouldn't say I've never told anyone because people do know this, but I own a clothing boutique.
Ah, you own a clothing boutique.
I do.
Okay. What is it, like oversized boyfriend shoulder pad jackets or like
Definitely no. That's why I thought about that. I was like, I don't think I'll be carrying any of those.
Okay.
My mom was, she owned clothing stores growing up, and I lived in basically LA a lot of my growing up because I was there with her all the time.
Yeah.
So a huge passion of mine is fashion. And so I decided I was just going to go for it, and I opened an online clothing boutique.
Sweet. Well, where can we find that? Where can we,
it's In Your Collection. So inyourcollection.com, INURE.
In Your Collection.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
very cool.
Something that I don't necessarily am never out there talking about it.
Yeah.
My close friends know that it's mine, and it's kind of my little passion project, and I love it. I get to dress my friends and basically get to play Barbies with my friends, right?
Yeah, totally.
It's really fun. I love that.
Passion, business.
Yeah.
Fuse them together. So yeah, that's like a recurring theme I'm seeing in your life is, you
got to love what you're doing all the time, right? So you got to bring it all together.
Awesome.
That's kind of how I live my life, I think.
Okay, how about this? My favorite thrill-seeking activity is?
Thrill-seeking. Oh, skydiving.
Skydiving. Have you been?
So fun. Yes.
Really?
Yes. If you haven't,
I chickened out. I had the opportunity and I chickened out.
No, I wanted to go again when I got on the ground.
Really?
Like I was
do
like,
you get like the falling feeling though? Like
you do for a second. It's like really quick, and then you're floating through clouds. Like how cool is that? You're gliding in the sky through clouds. Amazing. It's amazing, and I mean you get that free fall feel for a second. It's not that long, but it's
so that's one to do.
Yes,
you would suggest.
Absolutely. I think we should take the whole NVE team.
Yeah.
And we should go skydiving.
Okay.
I'll talk to Casey.
All right. Yeah, I think that'd be awesome. Yeah. It sounds like it'd be right up his alley, right?
A team building, right?
Yeah.
What better team building and holiday party post holidays that we can do than that?
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's bring it up at the next meeting.
Talk about it on Tuesday.
Awesome. All right. The biggest lesson I learned from my parents was?
It was from my mom. It was and this was because, all right, a little background. My parents got divorced when I was in kindergarten. My mom had her career in Mexico, but when she married my dad, she came to the United States and, had us, but she still had her businesses in Mexico, and she would go back and forth, and we would stay at my grandma's down there. But when they got a divorce, she had to start over here in the U.S., and she was a teacher very young, so she had to reevaluate all her studies here and start over with school and do a lot of work.
Sure.
That she didn't have to do had we lived in Mexico, but she knew that there was more opportunity for us here. So what she taught me basically is that do you, and, don't wait for a man to be your provider, be able to provide for yourself, because if you are strong and you can take care of yourself and you are with, a man who can do the same, you can combine and, build a kingdom, right? However, if it doesn't work out for some reason, you still have you, and you've still built you.
Yeah.
So I saw her go through it. I saw how difficult it was, and she said, you know what, don't let that be you.
Yeah.
And I don't want you to struggle like that.
That's so cool.
So, yeah.
So that's really, really cool that you learned that lesson, and it looks like it's serving you very, very well.
Thank you. Thank you. I would definitely, teach your daughter the same,
Oh, yeah.
You can.
Oh, yeah. Well, she's going to be around, as soon as she's big enough, she's going to be around people like you. Oh. That's, that's big. And the people at the school are like, she's a little bossy sometimes. And I'm like, that's good with it.
I was bossy.
I'm good with it.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Definitely bossy. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm good with it. So I love that.
Right.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that.
Of course.
Lastly, I want people to remember me as someone who
made a difference in, people's lives. And my big thing is teaching people about financial literacy is huge. I don't think kids, in high school know much about credit scores or investments or anything. We don't, at least we don't. We didn't learn about that. We didn't learn about credit score or the dangers of credit cards.
Balance a checkbook.
Any of that,
taxes.
right? Like taxes is huge. So I think that, teaching youth that is huge for the economy and for, just for mankind in general, right?
Yeah.
And for their own good. I think that's huge. That's something that our education is missing, and I feel like if I can at some point do something to help in that way, I would love to.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, Tania, it's been a pleasure learning so much more about you. Where can people find you? Where can we connect with you, support you? How do we do it?
You can find me on Instagram. My Instagram handle is Tania NVE. TANIANVE.
Mm-hmm.
Facebook, it's Tania Gonzalez, or my new Venture Escrow page as well is on there. And my phone number is 619-807-0711.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll make sure when we drop the episode to put all your handles and everything in the links so people can find it. And, really appreciate you again. Good luck in 2021. And absolutely. Thank you. And then, that's all we got. Thanks so much for tuning into the What's Next podcast. If you like this episode, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thewhatsnextpod. And you can listen to all of our episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you like to get your podcasts. Lastly, learn more at www.thewhatsnextpod.com. And it was our pleasure. We'll see you next time on What's Next. We're out. We sit down with real estate agents and talk about how the industry is changing, thriving with technology. We look at strategy. We love it. Welcome to What's Next podcast.